Hey, what's up guys, I'm Torn and welcome back to Victoria 3 as we are playing as Japan. So hopefully in today's episode, you should be able to get through the Honorable Restoration. That'll be done here in about a year and a half or so. I'm still suffering from horrible allergies. I'm trying to cut it all out. You guys might have noticed a lot of cuts in the last episode. It's just terrible, guys. I can't breathe through my nose at all today. It's just completely stuffed up. Yeah, I'm just surprised with how bad my winter allergies have gotten over the last couple years. Where before I'd only have them in the spring. Now it's like year-round practically. Again, I'm thinking the rabbit hay probably plays a role in that. But, you know, the family loves a rabbit, so we've had them for years now. I think 3 years is what we had them for. Yeah, we should be getting through this here at December of 91, and that'll unlock some new journal entries. We're in the positive here, but we're so far in debt it's going to take us a long time, even with that amount that we're currently earning, to finally get the credit down. And we did get the health system institution up to level 3. But the plan is that once we get the economy sorted out, we'll go ahead and work on the fleet. That will be necessary in order for us to do, any naval invasions, which are absolutely required here as Japan. And what I was thinking our first conquest might be is Korea, called Korea, Japan. So that'll be helpful. Yeah, Korea. I think we'll attack them. Makes sense. And historically accurate. So we have another event here. I think we already got this same one actually. And so unfortunately we're probably gonna have to do that one. Not too worried about the reduced opinion approval here, but I don't want the mortality. So I have to do that one. It'll likely result in some standard of living decreases though, and thus more radicals. We are seeing the number of loyalists increase faster than the number of radicals. The Shogun is as weak as he has ever been at 10.7%. Just absolutely horrible for him. And horrible for us as well, as long as the Shogun is the one leading the government. Because we just can't get any legitimacy. We need to have some sort of coalition that had similar ideology and was very powerful, and it's just not an option for us. I'm going to get the hand crank machine guns. I suppose we'll get the military statistics next, the 20% mobilization goods requirement. We're knocking out these techs pretty quick, 14 months here. I don't know if we're currently getting the bonus from a samurai. Looks like we are. So that's a 20% reduction of military technology costs, so very helpful. Another event about the inefficient agriculture, which we'll just have to lose the approval with the industrialists. And the current political movement is to enact a parliamentary republic. We won't be doing that. Rubbers being discovered around the world. I'm not sure if we'll have access to any. Well, I suppose now that we're getting Papua, we should. There's rubber there. I don't know about our islands. I don't know if any of these islands have rubber. I can't recall. Let's go and declare neutrality in this. Austria-Hungary having some issues. Yeah, you can see that the colonization here has been very slow for the Europeans. And clearly a lot of issues. We're constantly seeing the diplomatic plays over in this area. Doing much better on the money here, so now we're burning through that credit much faster. Alright, so we're in a good position now. Alright, so things are going well as we've worked on the GDP. It's finally starting to bear fruit for us. And we're still adding to the investment pool, so we could actually go ahead and step up the construction even further, because we are doing so well. So let's go step that up a little bit to make use of more in the investment pool. We don't need to add any more to it. We're already at 92.4 million. We need to make use of that huge reserve we currently have. My allergy is actually so bad I really didn't want to record today, because it's to the point where I'm having trouble breathing. But something I haven't mentioned in this series yet is that we're going to be taking our January vacation soon. We take it every year. Talk about that a few videos from now. I wanted to get as many videos out as we could before that vacation. So I'm recording so that we'll have a episode today. We do have some construction to make use of. So let's go ahead and do so. We'll go ahead and build a bit more of this because I think we should still be good even after we finish the current construction. So we'll do a little bit higher. Hopefully I'm not doing too much, but again, the investment pool is so high that if we were going to negative, that would actually be desirable. So we're already dealing with the iron and the tools. So we're going to start with the dye here. We're already on the right location. We'll do more dye plantations. Finally burning through some of that number of peasants here. Down to 370,000. So let's go here. And I believe some of this is being traded for. Maybe not. Looks like nobody's trading for dyes. That's all just being utilized by our own buildings. The small arms are still kind of high. So many people trading for it currently, so should probably go ahead and get some more arms industries. Let's just go up by 3 levels because they're going to keep trading for it. We can go ahead and get that oil price down. And we don't really have very many choices though, actually. Suppose we'll build on the Solomon Islands here. And that's going to be the maximum we can do there, both because of the peasants and because of the maximum amount of resources they have there. And then the wood we already know is an issue. That's going to have to be solved through trade. I suppose we can go ahead and start trading for it now. Suppose we'll trade with the Russian market. We don't want that much trade though, so hopefully they don't go that high. Because that would result in, I think it would result in some problems with the wood prices. So we'll see what they do. Again, they typically mess it up. Just the way it works. We'll go with the textile manufacturers as well. Textile mills. We'll get 4 of those going here. And we'll get the price of fabric down. Cotton plantations. Get like 5 more of those. I think we're already working on something here. Maybe not. Yeah, I think we already finished that actually. The chemical plants. So we'll build 5 more. And that should be enough to start playing the game here. I guess we'll go ahead and do the steel mills. 5 more of those. We also need more tobacco. So go ahead and build 5 more of those. Coal, still a bit of a problem here, but we just don't have very many locations to build them. But we do have plenty of resources though, so that shouldn't be an issue anytime soon. So we got about a month before we get this completed, and then I'll unlock a bunch of other journal entries. And yeah, I'm thinking this is probably going to have to be a shorter episode, unfortunately, guys. I really probably shouldn't even attempt to record. It's very difficult to talk and breathe right now since I have no use of my nose. Yeah, I'm just suffering trying to get through the episode here. But you'll notice that now that we completed that, our flag has changed. We now have the new flag. This is the one we used for the thumbnail of the video since I knew we'd eventually get here. So I'm not sure the precise pronunciation. I've always called it the Meiji Restoration, but that's what is known in history. This is when the shogunate was removed from power, and while there were emperors before that, they didn't actually have much power. Instead, it was the shogun who ruled Japan. So now the emperor is going to have a lot more power, so much so that he's going to be our actual ruler, Emperor Meiji Yamato. So we're going to read this. The shogunate has fallen from power, and Emperor Meiji has restored the political primacy of the monarchy. This momentous occasion marks the end of centuries of shogunate rule in Japan and heralds a new era of modernization and reform. The emperor must choose his political allies carefully. So this is when we get to pick who we want to have support us. You can choose the industrialists or the intellectuals. This is a clear choice for us, obviously. So we'll be saying industrial might will see us through, and in addition to increasing the interest group political strength of the industrialists, is going to move our capital to Kanto finally. The shogunate is going to be renamed to landowners, and then this will also unlock those new journal entries. And all of these are the same. Nothing really changes here outside of which of the interest groups is getting that political strength bonus. So now we're going to want to take a look at those new journal entries. So the first is Meiji Restoration, and this requires us to complete 3 of these journal entries, which we have exactly 3 here. Restoration Industrialize Japan. And so this is going to require that 70% of all eligible Japanese states have urban centers that are equal to 5 and also have a railway. Currently at 41.17%. I think the problem is that we don't have enough urban centers that are of level 5, because we have the railways just about everywhere where it matters. So the urban centers aren't large enough, so we need to urbanize, essentially. So we're going to go ahead and pin that. The next thing we need to do is retire the samurai, which means they have to no longer be powerful, so we have to get them down to 18% or perhaps slightly below that. Because that's going to be a problem, because we've actually been increasing the strength of the samurai, so we're probably going to have to suppress them. And part of this is just going to be requiring those leaders that we appointed, those generals, just waiting for some of them to die. You can also retire them, I suppose. That would cause some problems with them. However, they are very loyal to us, so we could probably get away with doing that. But yeah, we got to decrease their strength in order to complete this focus. Everything else has already been done. We got the necessary text here, and no longer have serfdom enacted. And this one here is pretty much already ready to be enacted, so that's not gonna be a problem. So we'll throw those two up to the top there. Let's get this one completed. So that's the first of these 3 journal entries. And I was thinking that one would have an event, but apparently not. No event associated with it. So I think this shouldn't be too much of an issue if we start suppressing them. And so what we're going to need to do is stop suppressing the landowners. We're going to stop suppressing the intelligentsia as well, and only suppress the samurai. And then with that extra authority we have, I think we might actually make use of that to get another consumption tax. I know we're earning a lot of money currently. However, I'm trying to get into the positives so we can build up a fleet. So let's do another tax here, and this one will be on luxury furniture. So it'll really only be a tax on the wealthier pops, so that we could try and build up a bit of a gold reserve and then get this fleet going. I've been wanting to do this for some time, guys, and we haven't been able to. So hopefully the samurai should be reduced in strength. Again, another thing we could do here is retire certain generals. Of course, they have to be a samurai. So like, he's currently the leader, and he's one of the reasons why the samurai have gained so much strength, because of those traits he has. So retiring him isn't gonna get rid of him. He's still gonna be around, and he's a good commander. I don't think we should get rid of him. Maybe him though. Yeah, we could get rid of him, though he isn't the most popular. And the psychological affliction doesn't actually cause us any negatives as a commander. He's pretty good. Yeah, he's got some good bonuses there. Maybe him, though, because he's a bandit. Yeah, we'll go ahead and retire him. This does, again, cause some problems with the interest group approval. But we had to get rid of at least one of them. Tempted to do 2, though. Yeah, I think we might end up doing him. Just 'cause I like his traits. Again, it doesn't get rid of him, but at least he will be getting that bonus from being a general. As the special privileges of the samurai class diminish, their special right to carry swords as a status symbol has been called into question. So we can say it is time for this right to be abolished. This is going to radicalize the officers and servicemen and decrease the interest group political strength of the samurai. We can instead say the right could be extended to other citizens of status. Still going to radicalize those officers and servicemen, but also create some loyalists among the upper stratopops. Or we say to take a samurai sword would be to tear his soul, and that will actually increase the samurai strength. So we don't want to do that one. I think we might just do this one. I mean, I would like to get the more loyalists, though. And I suppose we already have them, so they're no longer powerful. So I guess we'll just do this one. Let's get some loyalists. At least get something out of this. And we didn't really need to do anything to them, but we didn't want to increase their strength, because then we wouldn't have gotten this second journal entry completed. The fall of the samurai. Japan has succeeded in reforming the armed forces and putting an end to the backward system of feudalism. The samurai warrior caste seemingly no longer have a place within our modernizing society. So we can say let them keep their status as officers and nobles. They will lose that ideology that they have regardless, Bakufu. And if you just want to see what that affects, Mainly that they endorse our strong monarchy as well as serfdom. Go with this option. It's going to be a negative 25% weekly innovation gain multiplier for the military, so that's not a positive. Or you say the era of samurai is over, and that's going to very much radicalize the officers and servicemen and cause a ton of problems. Honestly, I'm okay with the weekly innovation loss for the military. That's not that big of a deal. We'll just go with that. That's a lot of radicals. This is basically almost the entire military, a big chunk of the military radicalized. So let's just go with this one. I think that's the better option. Because, yeah, we're working so hard to get the radicals down. We're down to 1.23 million currently. But you guys remember we got all the way up to, what, like 5 point something million radicals last episode. So we only have one thing left to complete here. And this one's going to be the more difficult one because we can't directly build the urban centers. They will build themselves once we get a state properly urbanized. And so we can take a look and see how we're doing in that regard and try and build in those locations. So we're at level 15 here. Remember, it just needs to be at 5. Yeah, 10 there. They're already there as well. I think our problem here is the colonies. Yep. That's what the issue is, guys. Is the colonies. If we didn't have all those colonies turned into states, yeah, that seems like might have been a considerable mistake, guys. Just for this particular journal entry. It says eligible, and I'm assuming, yeah, that it's got to be an incorporated state. So when I incorporated all those islands, I effectively ensured that we're going to have a lot of difficulty getting this passed. Or getting this journal entry done. In fact, I don't even know if we'll be able to do it. Yeah, I don't even know if we'll be able to get that done, guys. Consider the fact that those islands, it's not a simple matter of just building stuff there. I mean, you might be able to just build them and get the urban centers constructed. The problem is we don't have the population on those islands. So yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to complete that because of me deciding to do that. We clearly shouldn't have done that with all those islands. I didn't even think about this fact, and that it will cause us some issues here. So it looks like there's a war, a peasant revolt about to break out here in Hawaii, so therefore we're automatically supporting Hawaii. I don't know that we'll actually do anything in this conflict, though. We'll see how it ends up breaking down. I suppose this could be our first war we get involved in. Let's just see what happens here if they even need our assistance. I'm not going to raise up the military right now because we're trying to build up a bit of a gold reserve. In fact, we could probably start working on the fleet now. Yeah. We'll start working on the fleet. So let's go in and we'll get this one. This will be 18 months. And then, yeah, we'll start building up the fleet because we're actually about to finish our current construction. Let me see if there's any prices. There are. Yeah, there's some prices we could make some adjustments to. I suppose we could start building the coffee plantations. Those do add to the urbanization. Not a lot. But yeah, it would help urbanize them to an extent. But we're not going to get them up to level 5. There's just not enough population there, guys. But yeah, we can do it, I suppose. If they have the pops to work it. Then we'll build them up here. Yeah, and it's not going to be enough to make a huge impact there. But yeah, we'll do that, I suppose. What else do we need to get? Luxury furniture, not too worried about that right now. The small arms, we do want to take care of that, though, if we're not already. Yeah, it looks like we already got that constructed, and still seeing some high prices here. So it's going to get more arms industries. I don't know, let's just go up by 5. Try and make it really cheap. Also, we're still not making use of all the investment pools, so let's go ahead and build these up even higher. Building our new capital here in Edo. Get that up to level 15. And let's go here as well. And we'll see how that looks. We still have a lot of investment pool to make use of. So we'll take those up to the top, get them done. And we're going to need to construct a lot of stuff here. So let's go with the iron mines next. I know that we're currently doing steel, so we're going to need a lot of these. Let's go up by like 15. Since there's a high demand for it on top of the new steel mills that we're doing. And we're also going to need to do, oh, we got the electrical generation. All right, so we'd have to get a power plant in order to make use of those production methods. Yeah, we have access to that now. So we need to do the silk plantations. So let's go and do them. Do them here. Just get a lot of these. Because again, we can construct so much now. How are we looking here? We're actually starting to burn through the investment pool now. Alright, excellent. That's what I wanted to see. So we're able to construct quite a bit. And not have to pay for it. So not bad. The steel mill's already working on that. I suppose we could go ahead and do the tea next. Tea plantations. That revolt has broken out. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. Let's build a bunch of those. And also get the motor industries. Get like 4 of those. And it looks like we also have a little bit of a need for the steamers here. So we'll go ahead and build more shipyards too. Which we're going to need these anyways. As we're going to be building up our fleet here in a minute. Alright, so let's go and take a look at the war over here. See if we even need to get involved at all. So this peasant revolt ended up being absolutely massive. And our side doesn't even have any support here. So I guess we will need to bring up a few troops. We don't have to do much. Problem here is that you can't do... you have to mobilize a good number of them. Could create another general here though. So I guess we'll do that. Because I no longer need to reduce the power of the armed forces. In fact, we could stop suppressing them. And probably go back to suppressing the intelligentsia. So yeah, we'll start suppressing them again. So yeah, let's go to recruit a general. And we're going to want to do this in the Japan HQ. And it really doesn't matter who they're from at this point. And we do want to make sure the industrialists stay powerful. So we'll continue to bolster them since they are the only interest group currently in our government. Although we shouldn't be having any issues with legitimacy because our emperor, who's the ruler of our country, is in the industrialists. So therefore we're now getting that legitimacy. And so we're currently at righteous government. In fact, that's probably where we had that big drop of radicals there, is when the Meiji restoration happened. And so yeah, this is no longer an issue. We don't even have to have low taxes anymore if we don't want to. Though we're doing so well financially, why not keep it as is? I suppose what we might want to do is go ahead and get rid of some of these consumption taxes, actually. Because we're in the positive now. We're building up the gold reserves. So it makes sense to get rid of some of these. So let's go ahead and get rid of the one on porcelain. It's going to help our pops out. You can see the standard of living is increasing. So that's good. But yeah, the landowners are no longer a problem. So we could recruit from them. In fact, they're a good interest group for us to have in the government, actually. Because I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of our rulers end up being in the landowners still. So as far as which one of these guys are better, they're both bandits. As you notice, everybody's a bandit in this game. So that's just expected. I feel like he's probably the better one. This guy is innovative. So that's the surprise maneuver chance and the 15% morale loss. I mean, both of these guys are pretty decent. We'll go with both of them, I think. So let's go and recruit another general here. Although we have so many troops, this actually isn't going to reduce the number. But we wanted to get more generals anyways. And we'll go with this guy. Alright, so let's go ahead and send one of our armies, whichever one is the better general, which I assume is probably the guy that we've had for a while, Shinsaku. Yeah, he's probably the best one. So we're going to mobilize him and his 20 regiments. Obviously, that's far more, or 20 battalions. That's far more than we need to get this job done. So we're going to have him advance. I don't know if he'll get there in time. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't matter. So we would have had to send troops over there early on. So unfortunately, we raised up those troops and we're paying for them and we didn't need to. Because yeah, we can't do anything here because we still don't have the fleet yet. We still can't do a naval invasion. I didn't think it would be so disproportionate as far as the breakdown here. You know, our Hawaii didn't get a single battalion, while the peasants have one, and they got control of all the states. I wasn't expecting it to go down that way. So yeah, they were able to easily win that. And unfortunately, we're still in this. And I don't care about this at all. So yeah, let's just capitulate. Yeah, we don't care about that conflict. I mean, it's only really just a change of government. We only got involved because we had no choice but to get involved, since we're allied with them. Questionable practices. So yeah, we've seen this one before. So let's go with their judgment cannot be trusted and reduce the interest group approval of the trade unions. We don't want to pay or lose the bureaucracy. Neither one of those are really good choices for us. All right, so now that we got this going, let's go and start working on the naval bases. So we're going to need to get a ton of these. Clearly, I should get this situation here dealt with. So yeah, we'll fix both of these. In fact, we should take one more of those up to the top. So I'm just going to get all this done first, so we don't have any problems with infrastructure. And all right, look pretty good there. All right, so yeah, we're good to go. And then we'll get the naval bases going next. I say next, but obviously we got a whole huge list of things that need to be constructed. So yeah, let's go ahead and start building up the naval bases. And we'll want to get a pretty sizable fleet here. And so I should probably build these, I don't know, maybe 15 each or something. 20 maybe. In these locations where we have the most pops, if we're not already sorting that by pops. Maybe go all the way up to 30 actually. And just make use of all the pops here. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. Obviously this is going to be really expensive up here, but by then we should have a nice gold reserve. That's the reason why I wanted to get there, guys. So that when we're working on just these, we won't go too far in debt. Because we have a very high construction here. Alright, so that should be good for now. Maybe get 10 more, so you're sitting at like 100 ships or something. Yeah, we'll do 10 more. We have a lot of flexibility in the taxes if we need to. You know, if the fleet just ends up being too expensive for what we're currently earning, then we'll be fine. Once we get all this constructed, of course. So, not going to need to set up anything for some time. Looks like we're going to be good to go. So just let it go on speed 5 here. And I almost want to put a cut so we can get more further in the gameplay without me having to provide commentary with my allergy issues here. But once we get the fleet built up, we could do a war. And so there's a couple choices here. We could go after Korea first. We know we want to eventually conquer them. So could do that, kind of like flex our muscle, do a nice easy conflict. But eventually we need to attack the Europeans so that we can get recognized. Because yeah, we're going to always be kind of low on the rank here until we get that done. Oh, we got rubber successfully grown. All right, excellent. So let's go with the migration attraction. Rubber plantations will be one way for us to get up the urbanization in our colonies. That'll be helpful. Now, this is a little bit confusing now because we have a very similar color to Great Britain. Very similar. So a little confusing who owns what over here. It's interesting because they haven't really been increasing their colony by much here. They're moving about as fast as we are. And we're going to decline that. Yeah, we don't want to get pulled into any conflicts over here at all until we're ready to. So yeah, those are the choices. We can attack Korea first, do like a little quick conflict, and then do the war with the British. Or we could just go straight to the war with, I said the British, like we're just automatically going to attack the British. I suppose it makes sense, so we can take over their colony in Papua, huh? Yeah, I guess that's what would make the most sense, is to attack them. But no matter what, whoever we fight in Europe, could also do the Russians to take their territory over here. Or Alaska. Somebody said we could take Alaska. I don't know if we want to get involved here in North America, though. But whoever we attack, we're going to want to make sure that they are in a war when we do so. Just kind of got to keep our eye on them. It's like, just take a look at Britain now and see if they have any large conflicts. Obviously, it can't just be like a little conflict in Africa or whatever. It needs to be like a full-on European war. Like you can see right now, Russia's currently in a war with Austria-Hungary. So clearly they are distracted. And you see that they're losing territory as well. Okay, anarchism over here. But yeah, this would be a good time to attack Russia. Now, obviously we can't do anything. We haven't built our fleet yet, so we can't even do invasions. But that's the point, is that we want to make sure that whenever we do our attack of the European power to get recognized, that we do it when they're already distracted. Because we don't exactly have like the largest military force here, guys. If you compare us to like the Europeans, 291 battalions for the Russians. The British currently, well, the British aren't doing so well right now. We could actually likely defeat them because they're in such a bad position at the moment. Look at their fleet. Huh. I suppose we could do the war now to get recognized. That makes sense, guys. I mean, we need the fleet first, obviously. I almost want to tick that up to the top. We're doing the naval base now, but you know what, guys? Let's throw all this down to the bottom. I know it's almost done. But let's really work on those. Well, we need to do the shipyards. At least some of those. We're going to need those. But yeah, I think we're going to do this war here, guys, as soon as we can, because they're looking incredibly weak. And we already have a front with them, too, so we don't actually need the fleet, since we have that front in the colony. So we might go ahead and do that before we get the ships built, because it does take a while to build the ships. So that's something to consider, too, but they are looking so weak at the moment that I really want to capitalize on it. All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and start working on other techs now. We've been doing the military for a long time, so it makes sense to start working on either some society techs or probably the production techs. Yeah, I think that would make more sense, actually, is to go ahead and get some of these production techs like the pump jacks. That'd be incredibly helpful. So let's go ahead and get the pump jacks now. But yeah, I think we're going to start this up because, yeah, we should be able to attack them right here. Now, we could build our army up a bit more before we do this, but with them looking so weak, I feel like, yeah, this is the time. And they're only getting stronger. So let's go in and attack them now, guys. I didn't realize just how weak the British currently were. So we have interest in the area, but our relations is too high. So we have to begin damaging relations. All right, so that's a shame. Yeah, relations is too high to do a diplomatic play on them. I thought we already had low relations with them because if you guys recall, they started damaging relations with us not that long ago. But yeah, here we are, cordial with them. So we can't actually take advantage of this current opportunity that we have. I guess it gives us time to build the fleet up, but again, it gives them time too to work on their situation. Build more battalions up, to build their ships up. But I'm thinking maybe getting us up to like 150 battalions, so 25 more battalions. Now, you can see we're losing a ton of money right now. An absolute ton of money. In fact, because we're doing so well when it comes to the legitimacy, we could actually go ahead and go back up to low taxes, and that'll fix some of that. Now, of course, this is because we're not making use of any of the investment pool. But we're going to need more money anyway to pay for the fleet. So we'll go to the low taxes here. And again, I'm not too worried about this because we did expect this to be an issue while we built the fleet up. So yeah, we'll do all these. Get us up to 100 ships. Currently at 4. We also need to take a look at the naval base production methods and get those adjusted. So we want to get the monitors here. And then we'll need to change up the production methods for our shipyards because we're not actually building any military ships at the moment. So let's get the extensive military shipbuilding. And clearly shipyards are going to be needed. Now, we're already building a few of these. Let's go ahead and get the barracks building. Do we need any? I'm not sure. I think we just built a ton there, so I think we are going to need further railroads over here. Looks like we got one more coming. Let's do a couple more here, guys. So let's go and get the barracks going. Again, we're going to do... I'm thinking 25 more is what I'd like to do. So we'll get 10 more there. And maybe 5 more here in the capital. 5 there. I guess we really should focus on this area here, because this is where we have so many pops. So that'll be 25 right there, guys. All right, excellent. So we'll work on those. And again, we will be very much in the positive, but that'll pay for our war, but very much in the positive with these low taxes here. Once we're not constructing all this stuff here, all this military stuff. So we can see that the steamers is a problem. So let's go and get the shipyards going next. I know we just built some of those, but I think it's still going to be a massive issue for us, guys. So let's go ahead and get these guys increased pretty large is what I'm thinking. Like, maybe get them up to level 20 here for now. We'll see where it looks at that front. I mean, it's really not even that bad at this moment. And then these are going to go up in price as well. So I want to get more arms industries and more of the munition plants, all that good stuff. And we're going to need them to pay for the conflict anyways, so that it's not too expensive. So we'll get those going. We need more oil and more steel. So we're going to continue with the whaling stations for the oil for now. Problem is, I don't really have much options here. Yeah, not a whole lot of options on this front. To get the oil. Might have to trade for that then. Not too much of a shortage right now, so we're okay. And then the steel mills. Get these guys up to level 30. How bad is it? It's pretty bad. So we should probably get a bit more. Get 10 of those. We'll do the tools and then the coffee. Yeah, we need a lot of tools. Let's probably go up, I don't know, maybe by 12 or something. Just kind of throwing random numbers out there. And then we'll get the coffee plantations next, which again, we're trying to get the urbanization up in those areas. But like I said, I would not expect for us to be able to get this done here. I just don't think it's realistic that we'll be able to get to level 5 urban centers and all those islands. Yeah, that's just not happening, guys. So we'll get the coffee plantations. Suppose we could do the explosives next. As you can see, overall, just trade goods aren't, the prices aren't that big of an issue, period. Doing pretty good overall on the price situation. We'll get more fabric from the cotton plantations here. And let's do them, I think we're going to start building here. We really need to focus more on this location because it is the place where we have the most peasants currently. And sulfur. We'll do that next. Sulfur mines. That's probably good for now. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. I'll keep them busy, or at least for a little while. All right, so we're building up our military, guys. We have 21 ships currently, 150 battalions. And trying to get the relations with the British down so we can actually declare war on them. So don't really need to make use of any of these here, but one thing we could consider doing is like taking a look at all of our islands and the buildings they currently have to try and, you know, in this case, it's just a port. Yeah, you don't really have any peasants for building. But to try and reduce, Russia's damaging our relations. But to try and reduce the amount of workers they're using so that we can try and get more buildings in those locations and thus get the urbanization up. Again, I just don't expect to get this done, but we could try. We still make the effort. The automatic irrigation, we're going to want to change that in all of those locations. We can also get the oil rigs now as well. So we took a look at that, where we can build oil rigs only in one location. Japanese Eastern New Guinea is the only place we can get it, and we don't even have the amount of peasants we need there. We'll go ahead and construct it there. We do need to get a tech selected. And again, we're going to continue in these production techs, at least knocking out these level 3s. So in regards to the change where you have to get all of the previous level, so I was told that is actually kind of like a percentage modifier that's based off of how many you have left. So it's not like just a flat, like, oh, if you didn't research all level 3 techs, then level 4 techs are going to take, 25% longer, 50% longer. It's based off of how many of those previous techs you have. Now, I still have a problem with it. I still don't really like that because they already have the limitations that make it harder to go for future techs, considering the fact that they get more expensive as you go with each stage here. But that's not that bad. Then it's not a problem of like, oh, I skipped one tech, so I'm gonna get a big old huge modifier penalty. It's really only an issue if you're skipping past a lot of techs. So we should probably get the rubber here, so we can do the rubber plantations, because a lot of these ones are going to unlock production methods that require rubber. And we can see what our rubber situations look like in our colonies. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue dipping through these islands and see if we can't do anything to improve the situation here. That's right, we did not do the automatic irrigations. Let me go ahead and do all that in all of these real quick. Now, this will change up the employment situation, improve it a little bit, but not by much. You can see we lose 48,000 laborers, and we're gaining about 44,000 of the farmers and machinists. So you get a little bit of a bonus there, but not much. Now, this is going to drastically increase the price of engines, so we're going to need to tick those up to the top. And we don't have electricity yet, so can't do anything on that front. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the engines, because we're going to have some really bad shortages here. So let's build like 7 of those and just throw them all at the top, just to get it done. Is there any other like really bad shortages for the changes I just made? I imagine there's also going to be some stuff that's going to be a little bit too cheap as well. Like the silk, so probably should trade that, do an export route. Yeah, I guess we could do. Well, probably shouldn't trade with the British, actually, because we're going to be declaring war on them. Well, maybe. I don't even know at this point, because I don't know how long it's going to take to get their relations down. Yeah, we'll trade off the silk. Should probably trade the tea as well. Export that out of here. And we'll just keep on doing Austria-Hungary, I guess. Maybe China. Yeah, we can do China, too, because I think we have a large surplus here. Yeah, pretty large surplus. The artillery, I guess we could trade that too. Could do that to the British to hurt them. Let's do how much of the... Okay, yeah, I think China would be a good choice here then. So we'll trade that away. The dyes, should probably trade that too. With Austria-Hungary. And so this is going to result in a huge increase in our GDP with all these new trade centers. The fertilizer, I don't know if we actually want to. Yeah, I don't think we're actually going to trade that away. We want to keep those prices pretty low. Ironclads, we're going to have to fix that through the production methods. Is there anything else we want to trade off? I think we're pretty good to go. And we're not too bad here either. I mean, the furniture is pretty bad. Luxury furniture, did our people become obsessed with that? I feel like they did, because we are selling stupid amounts of luxury furniture. I mean, they could also be rich as well, and thus having a high demand because of that. Yeah, that could be causing the problem there. But yeah, let's go ahead and change up that production method. That'll also deal with the steamers being too expensive. So we're looking for the shipyards here. And we want to change over probably just to the military shipbuilding here. And then we'll take a look and see what the current situation on both of those are. On the two types of ships here. Okay, so you're seeing the ironclads are still far too cheap. We're just producing way too much. But where are the... Yeah, they're still pretty high. They have gotten better. I'm trying to get us to 1896 here. So let's go to... Well, we can't really go any less, can we? Yeah, so that's a shame. So basically, it's kind of stuck in the current situation, and we'll have to trade them. Yeah, we're going to have to trade the ironclad, so hopefully somebody wants these. Not much. Yeah, there's not much trade available here. So we'll trade with the ones who actually are going to do a large number. I guess we didn't need to trade with the British there. So we'll trade some of those away. We're almost to 1896 here. And we want to continue taking a look at our colonies as well. Making those adjustments to any buildings here. So we need to get access to more workers. So yeah, we're going to do like the rail transportation. We don't want to get any more capitalists there, anything like that. Anything that requires more workers is a bad thing for us. So yeah, not really any options outside of like, going to privately owned. With 100 extra, it's not going to help that much, honestly. But it does help to go with the rail transportation. That gives you thousands of more workers. So yeah, definitely want to do that in all of these locations. So we'll get all these changed up. In fact, I'll probably do this off camera. Since it's kind of pain in the butt going through all these islands. So yeah, I'll do that off camera. And we'll look at this event real quick. Yeah, this is one we've already seen. So we'll just go with the keep children off the factory floor again. I did want to take a look, see at the journal entries. Okay, so yeah, we could work on some of these, I suppose. But yeah, this one, again, it's going to be really difficult to get that done because of my decision to make the islands into incorporated states. That was silly on my part. Now, we can adopt state Shinto. And so that will result in Shinto becoming the state religion in Japan. The Buddhist monks will become Shinto. They'll get a new ideology. They'll no longer be called the Buddhist monks, our religious, our religious interest group. So we could do that. I don't really know what advantage there would be to that, though, because I think most of our country is still Buddhist. We want to look at the population here. I don't think we have like a high number of Shinto. Yeah, 22%. See, I don't see how that would be beneficial. You'd slowly convert the Buddhists over to Shinto. But yeah, it'd take a long time, and you're just discriminating against all these people. 76% of your population you're now discriminated against. So that would not be wise, I think, doing the state Shinto. Because it's not like we get like to my knowledge, it's not like we're going to get a bonus that's going to result in more people converting. The only other real change here is, the ideology change, which I suppose the Shinto would support our current laws more, because the group believes in the divinity of the emperor and ties this belief to the old worship of gods and spirits. So there would be that. Yeah, I just think this would be really negative. We get a ton of radicals. I mean, look at how well we're doing. We only have 438,000 radicals while we have almost 6 million loyalists. I mean, if there ever was a time to do this, and I guess it'd be now, but yeah, I just don't know how it'd be beneficial to us to now discriminate against the majority of our population, and how long would it take for us to convert them all? I think that'd cause massive problems in our country, guys. So I think it'd be really unwise if we did that. Now, one thing we could do is go ahead and go back to the very low taxes. So we are earning so much, and then maybe also cut off some of the consumption taxes as well. Just kind of help our pops out. Try and get the standard of living up. We do need to fix the situation with the bureaucracy. Also, we can get more interest, a lot more, with the fleet. So we'll have to do that next episode, because I'm not going to look for 5 locations. But I did want to see, if there's any locations we might want to build these up. And yeah, we're definitely going to want to get a bunch of these. I don't think we'll take them up to the top, though. Yeah, we're not going to take them up to the top. We'll just build them. Maybe 8 more, I think, would probably get them hopefully in a good spot here. The other ones shouldn't need too many more government administrations. Probably 2. We find there. And then maybe just one here. And then this last location. We'll do 3 here though, even though they don't really need that many. So yeah, we'll get those constructed eventually. Fix our bureaucracy issues here and the taxation capacity problems. Yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.